Hi, folks. Mark Anthony here. I am sitting behind the bar of McMullans Irish Pub. We are 1.1 miles off the strip. 1.8 miles off the strip, right across the street from the Orleans Casino and Resort. It is Irish, obviously. Food is delicious, by the way. Good beer, good friends. And I am standing next to the two owners if they would like to introduce themselves because I am horrible with names.
Brian McMullan.
And I am Lynn McMullan.
Okay. Now, you're not Irish.
Well, I am Irish by descent. My father, Irish, and he immigrated to South Africa way back in 1936, and I was born in South Africa.
And you married into it.
I did. I'm South African.
Okay. How did you end up in America?
Well, I used to be in the casino business for 35 years, and I came to build and manage and run casinos in the United States.
Okay. And you opened this up in?
2002.
2002. I didn't remember the date, but I remember that I was here. It had to be like the second week that you guys were open because you were just packed. And now you're open 24 hours a day.
We 24 hours a day. We've never closed.
And we can see all of the soccer games and all that.
Oh yeah, we're big into soccer or football, as everybody should call it, and rugby, and Australian rules, and rugby union, rugby league, all what would be in America minority sports.
Minority sports, I like that. Okay, all right. Now, also you've got all of the Irish beer and everything else like that, but we are actually here for this. Would you like to explain Leprecon Day, which is coming up in February?
Yeah, Leprecon is we hope, the world's biggest gathering of leprechauns in one place. It'll take place at 8 o'clock in the morning on the Saturday, the 13th of February. We hope to have 3,000 to 5,000 people. The previous record is 1,263, which is held by a place in Ireland. And we hope to smash that record and get in the Guinness Book of Records. Okay, and how do they participate in this?
Oh,
you can go to the website, www.lepre-con.com, and it'll take you to the website where you can register. And for the sum of $45, we'll give you one of those hats. We'll give you a shirt, a Leprecon shirt, no less. And,
the bling.
And in your case, you'll need a big red beard. We'll give you that as well.
A big red beard, yes.
And you'll have to come along to Town Square at 8 o'clock in the morning, where we will all gather. And you can either do one of four things. You can run 5Ks. You can walk 1K.
Mile.
1 mile.
Oh, sorry, 1 mile. Or you can just do a jig, an Irish jig, or you can absolutely do nothing at all. Just turn up in your outfit. You have to come in the outfit that you get, as opposed to just come in some green getup.
Just showing up.
Yeah, you got to look like me there, and like Len. Everybody's got to look the same for the Guinness Book of Records. Well, you qualify for that, and they count you, and there's a turnstile, and it's all very accurate. They have dedicated judges there. There'll also be a bar down there. We'll be down there.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. Beer.
A beer.
And for your registration, you get one free 20-ounce pint of beer, or you may have a Jameson. And the bar will be there for all those wishing to partake of a little liquid refreshment.
Okay. We're going to be down there. Hat, beard, and the whole works. And this is to break a record, but is there something behind doing this?
Yes, this is our 10th year of being involved with St. Baldrick's, and St. Baldrick's is a charity which concentrates on childhood cancer research. And we've been raising money for 10 years, and we've raised $4.2 million to this date, and we hope this year to go over the $5 million. That's in the whole of Las Vegas. We try to get other pubs involved, other restaurants involved, and we've done that. Nine Fine Irishmen, Re-Raw, Hard Rock, the Vinyl Lounge, and there's a a liquor store, which is called Curry's. There's the Sons of Erin, a whole lot of groups that dedicate themselves to raise money for childhood cancer, which needs the money because it's totally underfunded in America, in the whole world, to be quite, because everybody seems to concentrate on adults.
Okay, now, St. Baldrick's has been around how long?
St. Baldrick's has been around, I think it's about 14 years. We came in after about 4 years. I'm not quite sure of that, but they've been around. It was all started by 3 chaps in New York who are Irish Americans who one day thought, we've got to do something. They liked a bit of Guinness. They liked to play golf. And they were sitting in the pub one day about 2 weeks before St. Patrick's Day. And they said, we've got to do something because one of them was touched by childhood cancer. They thought, what could we do? And they sat around and had a few more pints and said, okay, this is what we'll do. I'll tell you what, I'll shave your head. If you shave your head, I'll give you $1,000. And that,
Why is alcohol involved in just about every great idea?
you know, they say that in Ireland, and obviously my cousins tell me that, God invented whiskey so that we wouldn't rule the world. So,
Okay, may I ask what you're involved, why are you guys involved in this?
The reason that we do this, we have a forum, we own an Irish pub. Little did we know that it would be this basis for St. Baldrick's in this community and be the starting point for this great community-driven project. And the reason behind that is that very long time ago, our daughter, who was 1 at the time, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And we fought long and hard. We lived in Denver at the time and were unsuccessful in our fight against her particular brain tumor. And so we lost a child at around 2.5 years old. And obviously, we moved, we started this pub, and when St. Baldrick's came across our path, it was probably at a time where the pub was in a position where we were ready to host an event. We had no idea what we were doing. These events run all over the country, but also all over the world. They run, in many cases, in pubs. In some cases, they run in restaurants or city halls or outside tents. But the events really work on the premise that the same way the guys did when they started in New York 14 years ago, we shave people's heads and we raise money. And the purpose is that if you don't want to shave your head, you'd probably willingly give me money to shave mine and say, there you go, there's your money.
Don't shave.
That's how St. Baldrick's has raised in excess of about $160 million, and that's why they're the largest donator to children's cancer research.
Now, since it started, the survival rate for childhood cancer went from what, like 6% to...
Well, it's hard to put percentages on every single one of them because there's so many different cancers.
Right.
But in certain cases, if you look at neuroblastomas or medulloblastoma, which is a brain tumor, they've taken the percentage survival rate from what used to be 6% to an 85% survival rate. That's mostly because of research, because of how they're learning to deal with these tumors. And there are some tumors that are still inoperable and untreatable in both adults and children, but there are some that are responding really well to research and treatment. So, each cancer has their own statistic for their survival rate, but we do know that the impact is huge in research.
Yeah, the federal government, whether it's Republican or Democrat, give a lot of money to cancer research. But 96% of it goes to adult cancer and 4% goes to childhood cancer.
Wow.
That's a big problem because the children get it at 2 or 4, and where the adults get it at around 62 average. So the life expectancy on both is diametrically opposed. And so the coming of St. Baldrick's and the putting of the money into research has got new upcoming doctors deciding, I want to do research, I can now do it for childhood cancer. Whereas before I would rush to there because that's where the money is.
Right. Now, does any of that money stay locally?
Yes. We've raised 4.2. 1.75 has stayed locally, and in the form of a clinic, which is the Cure for the Kids. So what is the clinic?
Children's Specialty Center.
Yeah, and it used to be one doctor in a little clinic which could hardly, in a couple of rooms, which were not of these. When we
They
went
weren't
to them,
nice.
we couldn't believe it. But the doctor, who's still involved, was trying with his own money to try to do it, because he has a philosophy that he'll take you even if you don't have the money. His charge, obviously, there's the charges are for the chemotherapy and whatever, but he would take you. And from the money that St. Baldrick's, we collect the money here, we give it to St. Baldrick. St. Baldrick's gives grants. The first year, we thought, well, we'll put up a number of 100,000, that's what we'll raise, and we thought, well, we'll never get that, but let's put up a number.
Okay.
But we raised 152,000.
All right.
And they put in a grant, the clinic, and they got 150,000. And now we have 9 doctors. We're on 3 floors of a different building, and it's absolutely clinically correct. And they are saving a lot of kids, and that gives us a lot of joy. And all the people here who have raised this money, it gives them a lot of joy that they've done something, and you can see it. Like sometimes you feel, I'm going to give something, I don't know what happens to it.
Right.
You can't see it. Here you can see it. Every time I go in, I just have a big smile on my face because it's so incredible.
Okay, now, the shaving of the head,
Yes.
the idea is for people with long enough hair to cut the hair off and use it.
Well, that can be as well. They either choose where to go, Locks or Love or Pantene Beautiful Lens. But the object is you in solidarity with the kids who lose their hair from childhood cancer. So you have a bald head.
They have a bald.
You have a choice.
They
don't
don't
have a choice.
Okay.
And that's the idea. When I first had my hair shaved, I never told anybody, but I was nervous because I have lots of bumps on my head, and I was all, and I have an ego, and all that stuff. And what will I look like? And then I had my head shaved, and my wife did. Our whole family did, and it was a great relief. It was just something magnificent. You felt that I've done something here that'll contribute, and the atmosphere. And if anybody who's watching has a chance to come on the 5th of March this year, we have it on the first week of March every year.
NASCAR weekend.
NASCAR weekend, yeah. Well, you can go to NASCAR, come here, because we're open from 11 in the morning till 3 the following morning. We open 24-hour days. For this, from 11 to 3.
But for the shaving, you're here from 11 a.m. until.
And NASCAR stops, and you can come down.
Oh, definitely.
And we'll be shaving 400 to 450. And by the way, we never ask anybody to shave. I've never asked anybody to shave over the 10 years. There are so many willing people that want to do it and want to do good, because most people, sometimes you might think, oh, people are nasty. Most people are good.
Yes.
And they give it with the right, the feeling and the right meaning, and they come back every year. And if you do it for 7 years, you become a knight of the ball table.
Seriously?
Yes. If you can become a knight of the
special.
ball table, all you have to do is give your moustache, and we'll put you down for 1 year. And I'm not asking you to do that, no.
I know I've been here the last 3 years, and this place is packed. You have not only do you have the shaving going on, but you have the bedding, I bet I can do it.
Yes. Yeah.
So you do it, and so you have all that going on. You have other activities going here. Is it going to be streamed?
Yes. It's a 24-hour stream. Not 24, from 11 to 3, all around the world. People can come in. All you have to go is our website, click on it, and you'll see where you have to click to get the streaming. So. Okay,
now, is March 3rd, is that nationwide on the same day?
No,
just March 5th.
Certainly Las Vegas wide. We try to encourage all the larger venues and even every venue to do it on March 5th. That way we're bigger because we're together.
Correct.
We can all capitalize on the media and the PR that we get. So we try to that.
Yeah. So
what else?
So Nine Fine Irishmen is on the 5th. Rira is on the 5th. Those and I'm not sure. They haven't registered yet, because I can't really mention them because I don't know, but I'm sure they're going to do it.
Okay. The links will be on the various websites. is there anything else somebody could do if they're not able to make it here on that day?
Oh, yes. You can go to stbaldricks.org. That's stbaldricks.org. Go to the website, look for an event, look for McMullans Irish Pub, and you can donate to an individual, a team, or just donate to St. Baldrick's.
And bring your friends with you, okay? All right. So it's St. Baldrick's, a charity, head shaving on March 5th. When is and then the Leprecon?
Leprecon is February the 13th, and really Leprecon's purpose is to provide awareness for St. Baldrick. So we're hoping that the 2 to 3 to 4 to 5,000 people that sign up to come that day, February 13th, there will be a proportion of them that will not know about St. Baldrick's. It'll be new to them.
Correct.
That way we expose this fabulous charity to people who don't know about it, and in so doing we can grow it. It was an idea really to grow the charity.
What happens if you do break the record of the most leprechauns?
Well, we will own that for about a year, and we hope in turn we will challenge Boston, Chicago, New York,
Boston,
Iowa, we don't care. We will challenge the rest of the nation to beat us. And they might, and if they do, we'll say. So we will hope in the end, after maybe 10 years, we'll have Leprecon Las Vegas, Leprecon Chicago, Leprecon Boston.
Do it all.
And it'll become a thing. We hope it becomes a thing.
Right.
And, you know, we've been involved with charities before. We did St. Baldrick's 10 years ago. And they're great, and they all do good things. But this is charity with fun. As you've been to it, you see the atmosphere that is in this room.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. People are shouting and screaming and crying and singing and
drinking.
And they're having fun. And the Leprecon Day, that's going to be fun. Imagine 3,000 to 5,000 people looking almost like that, at least from the eyes up, with everything else, and the red beard. And just there in the photograph, to be in that photograph is going to hang in this
Pub.
pub.
Very, very proud.
And hopefully 3,000 to 5,000 homes, we hope. Because to see 5,000 people together, or 3,000, all dressed the same in one picture, that's a big area. And if you can try to imagine, it's hard to imagine unless you've seen 3,000 to 5,000 being just shot and wearing the same clothes. You might see it at some football game, but it's not the same.
It's a Vegas thing. Okay, all right. Well, I appreciate your time. I thank you very much. Everyone,
Thank you.
There's going to be a website right where my finger is. The notes will all be in the show notes. Help out. Come on out to McMullans Irish Pub. Come out to Town Square. Be a Leprecon for a day, all right? This is Mark Anthony. Thank you very much. See you all next time.